Feel like giving up? Then you should see these inspirational movies. We have all had moments when we felt like giving up. If not all of us, most of us have. At that moment, nothing or no one can kickstart your motivation. Then it becomes necessary to look for another source of inspiration. While a lot of people would turn to inspirational music, others seek solace in inspirational books or even movies that give them a feel-good spark and as well as a reason not to give up. This is not to say that the motivation for not giving up comes from these options alone. As far as diversity, choice, and individuality are concerned, motivation to keep pushing might come from anywhere. It could be from cooking, cleaning, doing something artistic, and so on. However, in this video, we will be discussing the inspirational movies that would motivate you not to give up. They can be found on Amazon, Hulu, Netflix, Disney+, and any other you might know. Theshank Redemption. How would you feel if you were unjustly jailed for up to 19 years for a crime you didn't commit? Many of us would give up, but not Andy Dufresne. He persevered. Theshank Redemption is a movie about a banker, Andy, who spent 19 years in prison. It's also about the lives in Shawshank and how innocent Andy escaped. He searched deep within himself and came up with the ideas that helped him escape the shackles of wickedness. This is also a story of friendship, perseverance, and redemption. In dire situations where it seems like there's no other way, look deep within yourself, speak to a friend. Help comes from the unlikeliest of places. If Andy gave up, then we wouldn't have this story of bonding, faith, and hope to share. The Green Mile. Feeling all alone in the world and hard done by? Then even that is not a good enough reason to give up. Take a look at the Paul and John story in The Green Mile, a movie produced in 1999. John Coffey was a man who had been through a lot and felt he was done for. He felt like almost giving up. That's not all about John. He was also so afraid of the dark and had a prodigious gift that was out of this world. You really have to watch this movie to find out. Paul, on the other hand, was a man quite familiar with the ways of felons, as he had walked miles with them. However, he was convinced that John Coffey was innocent. This got Paul caught in the web as he was torn between carrying out his duty or doing the right thing. The movie's captivating plot does not only tell a tale of sentiments, but how sentiments brew friendship as well as humanity. 127 Hours. A lot of us are quite familiar with the saying, if you're going through hell, keep going. Of course, all you have to do is keep going. Why on earth would you want to stop at hell? Don't give up, push. That seems to be the motivation behind Aaron Ralston in 127 Hours, a movie produced in 2010. Aaron had a very rough decision to make, which had to do with losing one of his hands or dying. He was alone, he was trapped, he was far away from civilization, but he never gave up. He had just 5 days to make that decision, just 127 hours to choose between dying or losing an arm. Aaron Ralston was trapped far away from help and had only himself to call on at his lowest moment. But he never gave up. He found the fortitude to make tough choices that ultimately led to his survival. His actions are inspiring and teach us survival and gratefulness for the life we take for granted. The Pursuit of Happiness. Every once in a while, we crave a bit of happiness. This father and son are not any different. The movie, The Pursuit of Happiness, tells the story of a father's struggle to give his son the best future possible, to give his son happiness. The movie, produced in 2006, has an inspiring plot and shows the importance of not giving up and bonding between a father and his child. The duo was faced with several challenges, the most significant one being their eviction from their home. As the father faced tough financial difficulties, both he and his son were met with their personal struggles every day. However, it was not all gloomy for them, as some tiny bits of happiness were found in the small time they shared. It is indeed heartwarming to watch a father and son bond through tough situations, staying together and happy. Life of Pi. Going on a solo journey on its own is a very risky thing to do. However, being the sole survivor of a shipwreck can be seen as testimony. Whether you are surrounded by wild animals that might take your life at the slightest loss of attention. This is the story of Pi, the only human survivor on a ship traveling to Canada. We all know how amazing nature can be, but do not forget nature itself can also be cruel and play some dirty jokes on us. The Life of Pi was produced in 2012 and features the forces of nature to either teach us a hard lesson or an inspiring one. Being the only human survivor, Pi was stuck in the middle of the ocean with an orangutan, a tiger, and a hyena just waiting for the slightest chance to terminate him, to finish what nature started. You could call that nature's joke or something, but Pi had to struggle to stay alive. It was all adventures for Pi, trying to maneuver and struggle against all odds to stay alive. The movie is nothing less than heartwarming and inspirational. Not to mention, it's a visual treat. Forrest Gump. The world is filled with many talented people who are so good at doing what they do. There is another set of people, the multi-talented ones, those who are so good at doing several things. This is true of Forrest Gump, a man who was so good at dominating on the gridiron as a football star while in college, a man who fought in the Vietnam War and survived, a man who could captain a shrimp boat without breaking a sweat. Forrest Gump was so good at all he did and left an impression on people with the innocence of a child. Although he was slow-witted, Forrest never saw himself as being disadvantaged. The movie Forrest Gump, produced in 1994, showed Forrest's life right from when he grew up under the loving nature of his very supportive mother and a protected environment. He is always seen trying to make those around him very happy in any way possible. However, things took a different turn for him when it was time to save his childhood sweetheart, Jenny. He had never been as puzzled as he was trying to save her. You can't give up until you have seen this movie and learn from the love and innocence it had to teach. The movie will also, in a way, remind you of the importance of being grateful for life and enjoying the joys of it. Which of these movies are the most inspirational? Which have you seen? And what did you learn from it? Do well to let us know in the comment section. Till the next video, goodbye.